Oh, y'all played Skyline your senior year.
Yeah, we played. Wait a minute. Yes, we did play Skyline my senior year because I remember getting blasted by Chip.
Yeah,
I got a Chip story too.
big Chip.
I got a Chip story. People sleep on Chip. Oh man, welcome back to another episode of the Rec Center podcast. Man, we got a good one today. My name is Kenny Edwards. I'm representing Oakland High School, Wildcat territory, joined with my co-host Lorenzo Lolo Parham. What's good, man? How's your week been?
Man, the week was good, Ken, man. Greatly humbled, man. Humbled by that last interview we did with Mario Vital, man. It was a lot of great feedback from that interview, man. Took it to another level. Going really in depth with the things that he's been through and was able to tell his story. And excited about this guest we bringing on today, man. A childhood friend of mine. And one of the great things about bringing your childhood friends on, Ken, is we watch them become legends right before
Absolutely.
our eyes, right? So bringing on this next guest, man, is none other than a De La Salle legend, man. And it's kind of hard to be a De La Salle legend because you had to really do something, right? So we got to bring on, no further ado, my guest, Mr. Atari Callen, man. How you doing, bro?
Oh, very good. Living a blessed life, having fun, having fun, just doing my thing out here, living in Idaho, just having fun out here. A lot of kids, a lot of fun.
And what you doing now? You coaching as well, right?
Oh, yes, sir. I pretty much coach every sport out here. I coach at a junior high school for track, but I've also coached on my son's youth football team, his baseball team, the Idaho Prime. I've coached my daughter's soccer team or volleyball team. Whatever parent asks me to coach, I usually get wrapped into coaching it. So,
That's dope.
Absolutely. So we go start. We got to go way back. So I got to go back to where I met you at, right? So before you became the De La Salle legend, to me you was like one of the rawest center fielders in your age group for baseball, right? So even playing baseball at a young age, you played Oakland Pal, right? Oakland Pal. How did that come about? Like, were the Oakland kid coming from Concord, or were you a Concord? How did all of this come about with you coming playing for Pal and things like that?
So I grew up playing T-ball for Kappa. I lived in West Oakland on 20th, and I played T-ball for Kappa growing up. And then my mom got a job for the VA hospital, so we ended up moving out to like West Pittsburgh at the time. I guess it's called Bay Point now, but West Pittsburgh at the time. And then my brother's cousin, Jackie Wilson, he started a baseball program, and I was just kind of playing out in West Pittsburgh. It wasn't too much competition, and it was all cars back then. Y'all played for all cars.
We was all cars.
So he called my dad, and my dad was like, my son's 10. I think I was 10 at the time. And he was like, well, I'm starting a team. I got some minors and I got some majors. You want to come back out in Oakland and play baseball? And I didn't know anything about the difference between driving from Oakland to Concord I fell asleep in the car. So I came back out, played for Pal. We were playing at Royal Park, and it was fun. That's my first re-intro back to Oakland Babe Ruth, was playing for Pal when I was 10 years old. And then I played for Pal all the way through till I was 15.
You played all the way through?
Yes, sir. I played all the way through till I was 15. I had 1 year skip where when I was 13, I played Antioch Babe Ruth when we were preps. And then I came back when I was 14 and played for Oakland Pal again.
Oh, okay. So one of the things growing up, watching you, and I'm in Oakland, and while you at De La Salle, everybody didn't know that you were a Oakland kid, right? They just felt you was a De La Salle kid. As they depict De La Salle kids to be. And I'm like, nah, Atari grew up with me. Atari from Oakland, and had to really vouch on that standpoint because there was a lot of people getting misconstrued on what it is. And one of the things that was dope was like you were super raw in baseball, right? Did you ever get a chance to play baseball after Little League?
Yeah, I played in high school. I played all the way up to my junior year, and then I chose between track and baseball. And to be honest, I was getting recruited a lot in football, and they don't really explain the differences between baseball and football. But if I think I'd look back, I probably would want to have played baseball longer, just being that football I consider football a big man sport. I mean, you can be little and play, but football is definitely a big man sport. So I played all the way through high school. I played my junior year on De La Salle's team that ended up winning the NCS in 96. That would have been my sophomore year when I came up to varsity. And then won in 96, and then we lost in the championship in 98 and 99. So that would have been my junior and senior year. But, yeah, I played all the way through. Baseball was fun. Baseball's different. Oakland Babe Ruth, and then going and playing the suburban baseball, to be honest with you, is a completely different beast when it comes to –
What's the difference?
I think that in Oakland Babe Ruth, I think there was like when we played, definitely there was an extreme amount of talent. I mean, every team had 4 or 5 good players. Talking about Duvernay, New York Life, Allen Temple. I mean, even Capital One, Capital. Every team had 4 or 5 good players, and so the competition level was really high. I mean, I don't want to say coaching wasn't great, but when you go to a school like De La Salle, you can see the difference between coaches that have probably coached at a high level that are coaching at high school and coaches that are just maximizing their coaching abilities the best that they can. So I think that was one of the biggest differences. I think it's a lot more fun to play Oakland Babe Ruth. It was, I mean, from getting punched out by Blue and you can hear it from all the way across the field to just I mean, you know everybody. So when you getting hit off people, and I mean, just the competition between the parents, it was just more fun. It was serious, and De La Salle, the kids were good. I mean, I do not doubt the kid. I mean, our kids were great. Obviously, we went to championships, but the fun level at Oakland Babe Ruth and playing De La Salle it was more fun to play in Oakland.
So let me ask you this, Tari. Did you play youth football out anywhere? Did you play youth football out in Pittsburgh, Bay Point? You played youth football?
Yep. So when I was growing up, my first year I played for West Pittsburgh youth football. So we were like the Titans, Spartans, Vikings, Nomads back then. And me and my cousin Pierre Harper, he played.
That's your cousin?
Yeah,
Pete. Pete used to wear bells on his cleats, and he said, "So you can hear me coming."
Oh my goodness, I don't doubt that. So me and Petey first played for West Pittsburgh back in the day when we were younger, and then he came and played for San Leandro. I played for West Pittsburgh till I was like 11, and then my mom got a job in Martinez. I had some friends that lived in Martinez, so I kind of got an inter-district transfer. Ended up playing youth football for Martinez until I got to high school.
Now, let's get to the good part. You playing for Martinez, right? Did your brother play for Martinez as well?
He did. So he played for Martinez for 1 year, and then he ended up going to Alhambra his freshman year.
Oh, he went to Alhambra first.
So, yeah, he went to Alhambra his freshman year and actually made it to the state finals in 100 meters. If you ever look it up, 95, it's on YouTube. He ran in the state finals his freshman year at Alhambra, and for whatever reason, I really think they had a rule about not playing sophomores on varsity. So my brother had a friend that also went to Alhambra, so he ended up transferring to De La Salle. My brother transferred to De La Salle. So at that point, that's how I really got into De La Salle. I mean, growing up in West Pittsburgh, you just want to go to Pittsburgh High. Like, everybody want to go to Pittsburgh High. Everybody want to go to Pittsburgh High. They had all the boys coming through there. And even I wanted to go to Pittsburgh High. And then I saw De La Salle play one time, and I was like, I want to go to that high school, but I have no clue where it is.
Now, at this time period, is that when Pitt was competing with De La, when they like Reagan Upshaw?
Bernard Hart.
Yeah.
Was that around there when they was about to break the streak?
Oh, yeah, they were on them. So my first game ever watching De La Salle play was them losing to Pittsburgh in the championship. I had a guy that went to my church in Pittsburgh that played on that school. So we were going to go see Pitt High play, and it was like, sweet, we're going to see Pitt play. They about to beat some school I had never heard of. And that was the first year I ever saw him play. And then the next year I went back, and because Alhambra had made it to the championship, my brother was a freshman. They were playing St. Mary's, I think, and then De La Salle was back again, and I was like, I don't know where that school is, but I wouldn't go there.
So your brother transferred from Alhambra to De La Salle, and you followed your brother into De La Salle. So
Yes,
it wasn't no big, hey, we got to recruit the Collins brothers to come to De La Salle and win these games. Y'all wasn't recruited to De La Salle.
No, be honest with you, it was just pure coincidence. There just happened to be a kid that was going to Alhambra that was on the waiting list to get into De La Salle, and he got in, and they I don't know what conversation happened between my parents and his parents, but my brother ended up transferring with him.
This is how the conversation went. We have a kid at Alhambra that can help you win the state championship. I know there's only one spot left, but let's open up a second one. That's kind of how the conversation went.
We have a kid. He just went to state in the 100 as a freshman.
And he has a little brother who will come right after him.
Right. So, like I said, and then that's when I started ball boying. So I was me and I don't know if you remember a quarterback named Vinny Padilla.
Of course.
Yeah, Vinny Padilla was the quarterback, and his brother was the same as my brother. So we ball boyed for 3 years at De La Salle before we even played there. So that was great.
So what was the pressure like? Because now by the time you get there, your brother is all world at this point. And by the time you get there, what was the pressure like when you were stepped on campus to be following after your brother?
I don't normally think I've felt a lot of pressure. I mean, I had a really good sport dad. So I just put it like that. Like my dad was like really calm, really easygoing, and he never wanted me to be my brother. He never wanted me to run like him or act like him. So I don't think that kind of resonated through like the program for me to be my brother. I mean, getting asked to play JV as a freshman, I mean, I didn't understand anything. I just was going out there to play. I just knew the kids were a lot bigger than me, and I didn't have any pressure to go out there and be the man. They just were like, come out, work hard, and that was pretty much it. I didn't have a lot of expectations that were told to me, put it like that. Mm-hmm. So maybe the coaches had them, but they weren't told to me. I was just told to go out there, work hard, and good things would happen. Like I say, my parents, my mom, my dad were really good, and my brother, he just talked a lot of trash to me, but he never – I mean, I didn't think I was going to be as good as him when he was a senior, so I wasn't trying to be, I guess.
Man, but when we look back at it, because, we sitting here, and most of the stuff we saw from you was on Sports Focus, right? So every weekend we tune into Sports Focus. It's Atari Callen doing this, Atari Callen doing that. And it was like, man, but I remember the year before, 2 years later, before that, it was Leon Callen. I'm like, man, Atari, if they killing it out there, it got to be some type of pressure. But then we talk about a lot about De La Salle and how you guys have this real good brotherhood going on, which probably alleviates some of the pressure that players feel when they come into De La Salle, other than keeping the streak alive, because that streak alive probably was a lot of pressure.
Right. Having that, well, especially during my year, because we were breaking the streak. So we had all the cameras, all the newspapers. And to be honest with you, I knew there was a streak when I first got there. I didn't know how close we were to breaking one or not. And then when I was a junior, that's when all the craziness started about the streak. I think that my brother played just offense and I played defense. So I think that my expectations was to just be an all-around good football player. So, I mean, when I first got to De La Salle on varsity, we had Anthony Von Tour and Salim Muhammad, who were, I mean, one went to Cal and Von Tour went to Washington. Also a Martinez boy, by the way.
Von Tour, he passed away, right?
Yeah, he passed away. And his brother, I mean, tragically, and his brother did. His brother drowned. And then Anthony had like some kind of heart attack. So it was just a tough one for them, that family. So blessings go up to them. But So we had Ventura and Salim, and I was just expected to play defense and just have fun my sophomore year. And then Ventura came to practice one day and was like, I do not want to play running back. I don't like it. And then I got pulled in an office, and the coach was like, you're starting at running back. And I went home and told my dad, and he was like, well, good luck. Good luck. You're only
man, to have a supportive dad like that. That's where it's
right,
like low pressure, but just a lot of encouragement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's real good. I think, it started out, my dad used to run. My dad was really into track. Like if you know in my family, my dad is really a baseball track dude.
Mm.
And my whole family is a baseball family. Me and my brother and Pierre are probably the only people in my family in that generation that played football in high school, to be honest with you.
Mm.
So he was a track guy. So I always wanted to compete and show him that I could hang up and hang around my brother and run the hills and do with him. But I was 3 years younger, so it didn't really look good. But I was always around and about. So my dad never pressured me to do anything because he always knew that I kind of wanted to prove to him that I could do it. So,
hey, what year did you guys break the streak? Was it during your junior season or your senior season?
Junior year.
The junior year, y'all break the streak, right?
Yeah.
Now, y'all break the streak, y'all win. Was this before you guys started playing the Southern California schools, or did you guys play at Southern California school during that time?
So they had played at a team from San Diego called Rancho Buena Vista. That was a really good school from San Diego section. So, but that was really the first Southern game. They played Merced a couple years before that. That was #1 team in the state. And then they started playing St. Mary's of Stockton and some teams like that, but they really weren't getting around. My senior year was the first year we played basically a team from every section in California. So we played Bakersfield High School, which ended up winning their section. We played Mater Dei, which ended up winning their section. We played Nevada Union from Sac Joaquin, who ended up winning their section. And then we played Skyline, who won their section. So I think most of the teams we played in preseason ended up winning their section.
Oh, y'all played Skyline your senior year?
Yeah, we played wait a minute. Yes, we did play Skyline my senior year because I remember getting blasted by Chip.
Yeah. I got a Chip story too.
Big Chip.
I got a Chip story. People sleep on Chip because he didn't, he didn't have the continued success after high school, but people sleep on Chip.
Right.
Chip hit me so hard I lost feeling in my hand for a quarter.
Oh, man.
Hey, was Chip hella big, or did he just used to wear big ass shoulder pads? Man,
now, Chip is a big dude. Like Chip from my neighborhood, he's a big stocky dude.
Right?
Yeah, but I don't know. His shoulder pads made him look even big. He's bigger than Mikey.
Yeah, well, when he hit you, it make you feel even bigger too.
And he got me on a little counter, and I had told Coach, I was like, Coach, I know this linebacker. If I stand right here and do this counter, he ain't gonna be there. And Chip read it perfectly, and I got that ball, and you can hear it on tape, just boom. And I just like took a knee and was like, no more running that play.
Hey, that's something you got to tell your grandkids. I hit Atari Callen so hard he still remember it 20 years later.
20 years later, right. The Mater Dei game, 4th and 20. Your coach called a run play. You get the ball. You get this first down. Game changer. Y'all won that game by a touchdown, right?
Yes, sir.
What was that feeling like after that game to go down to Anaheim and beat them guys like that? Because for the most of the part, Southern California dudes would be like, De La Salle got this streak, but they ain't played none of us yet, right? And then y'all go down there and y'all beat the best team in their section. What was the feeling like coming back home?
To be honest with you, at that moment, I think I felt like we could play anybody and beat them. Maybe not so much before that, because we weren't very big. I mean, that team was full of athletes, but we weren't the biggest De La Salle team that's ever been out there. But to go down and beat Mater Dei, I think it kind of just reinstilled that everything that we've learned over the last 3 years, is completely true. Like the hard work, it doesn't matter your size, coming together as a team, and doing that early in that senior year was a big thing because it kind of grew our team to where I don't know how he did, after us or before us, but, our quarterback called a lot of plays during that year on his own. Like our coach would go, here goes, the series is on you. Like, make the calls.
Mm.
So I think there's a lot of trust that came out of that win from the coaches to us, and definitely from us to the coaches, to be able to say, whatever you say is it, and we will do it.
You just mentioned the De La Salle hard work. Ken, you want to go, Ken?
Yeah, it was similar to what you was about to say
You
with
just
the hard
mentioned the
work.
De
Is
La
it?
Salle hard work, right? What was that workout like? Because some people I didn't work out at all in high school, right? It was foreign. We're not working out. We're just going to go play football. What was the workouts like to get y'all so prepared for the Matter Days and the Merceds and the Skylines? What was the workouts like before the season started?
Oh, the workouts were brutal. And to be honest with you, they just didn't start in the summer. If you didn't play, so for De La Salle during the spring, we did winter conditioning like any college would do right now. But if you played two sports, you had to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning, 3 days a week, because you couldn't lift after school because you had practice for your other sport. So, those were a grind to get through. And I think, it definitely grows you as a person. But then when you get to those summer workouts, you're talking hopefully estimated 45 minutes of running on the field, depending on how disciplined we are, if we jump off sides, if people are focused, because we're running liners, 5, 10, 5s, back pedal. We're pulling tires. We're running ropes. We're doing circles in the middle. Y'all know how hot it get in the Bay, but living on the Contra Costa side is a whole another 15 degrees of heat.
Right.
So, it's hot out there, and, we didn't have the field turf and all that stuff. We just had a big grass field out there that we worked on. And then we would get on the track. So we would do 45 minutes an hour of like grass drills. That's what we call them. Liners, to be honest. And then we would get on the track and do a track workout. And this what the hardest track workout would be 3 400s, 3 300s, 3 200s, 3 100s.
All in one day?
All in one day.
After the lines?
After the liners.
That's how you get a streak.
Linemen, I'm talking about linemen running them, DB. So we had a lineman group. Then we kind of had like the
Was Blasquez there at this time?
Group, and then we had all the fat DJ, Nard, Tucker, me, and all that group. We would run all together.
Was the strength and conditioning coach? What was his name? Mike Blasquez? Was he there?
He's the head strength and conditioning coach for Cal now.
Yeah. So imagine that, a Pac-10 strength and conditioning coach at your high school.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
He was fresh out of college, and he was our strength and conditioning coach for about 12 years, and then he ended up getting a job. He ended up getting a job because Coach Renault, our basketball coach, ended up getting an assistant coaching job at the University of Cal. He brought Mike over to do basketball. Then he ended up taking over the whole sport program and building a new weight room.
I was talking to Brandon Payton the other day, who also went to De La Salle with you guys. He talked about the culture. The culture at De La Salle creates 100% buy-in from all of the parents, right? What was it like? Like, did you have any parents? Like, right now we live in an era where parents challenge coaches nowadays, right? That's just the era we live in. Did you guys ever have incidents where a parent disagreed with anything that the coaches were doing?
Well, I assume that they probably did. I would say that on our teams, I think a kid would tell his parent, like, Mom, don't do that. Like, you don't know who's in front of me. Like, you don't understand what's going on the field. I think that, especially at De La Salle, man, like, the cream rises to the top out there, like, real quick and real easy. Like, so we don't cut. Like, our coach, he won't cut anybody, but you got to make all the workouts. So if you can make 26 out of 30 workouts during the summertime, that's you've proven to everybody on the team that you deserve to be out there. Now, how good you are and how much better you are, that's kind of God-given. And then, even though you go to De La Salle, doesn't mean that everybody's 100% bought into the program. But, 95% is way better than 70 or 60, then you get a lot of other programs.
Absolutely.
So,
We have some programs that don't even get 60% of attendance there for summer workouts, or spring workouts, where even if you're not doing another sport, they still not showing up for the spring workout. So that buy-in as a culture is only a testament to how good De La Salle program have been running for years.
right.
Years. One of the games I wish I could have saw your senior year was Atari Callen, DJ Williams, and De La Salle versus Kareem Kelly and Daryl Rideau at Long Beach Poly. That's the game I wanted to see because them dudes down there was balling that year. I would have loved to have seen that game and just to see because you guys disciplined against their speed because they had a whole bunch of speed on that.
Oh, yeah, they had a ton of speed. They had a sophomore Sammy Parker.
Sammy Parker.
Had what's his name? Darnell Bing.
The quarterback went D1 too, I think.
Yeah, he went to Stanford.
Chris Lewis.
Chris Lewis. They played.
Daryl Rideau and Kareem went to USC. Like that would have been a good game to watch. And I remember when you guys were playing De La Salle, they were at the game and they did an interview for the TV that day saying they wanted to play you guys and stuff like that. I wish that game could have happened.
Right. So we had, that's funny because we had spent that summer running track with Zoe for AC Track Club.
AC Track Club.
So we ended up going to Junior Olympics that year, and DJ ran like intermediate, and I was on the young men's, and Daryl and Kareem and all of them ran for AC Track Club on the 4x1 and all that stuff. So we spent all summer with them fools and all
talking
that.
Crap.
Yeah, talking crap about how. I mean, they are strictly LA dudes. I'll be honest with you. LA is it. LA is the best. There's no other programs around that can function around LA football. So it did get kind of annoying. But I mean, they're good dudes and but it does get kind of annoying that, I mean, that's just LA though. What do you say about that? That's just LA people.
So let's talk about the recruit. Your recruiting your senior year and you choosing to stay home at Cal, right? Stay home at Cal. What other schools was really, really offering you to come play in what position? Because you being this all-state running back, you chose to play DB in college, right? So What was the recruiting like and what colleges wanted you to play what position?
So I think most colleges recruited me as an athlete, which is a good and a bad thing. I think I probably wanted to be denoted as probably just one position. But most colleges recruited me as an athlete. So I took my trips to UCLA, Washington, Ohio State, Cal, and Arizona because my brother was at University of Arizona at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of gave him the respect to take a trip out there. And then it really came down to Washington, Ohio State, and Cal. And to be honest with you, I felt like it was probably best if I stayed home because my brother went away and he wasn't having the most fun experience at college in Arizona. And so I felt that if I stayed home, I'd probably get a better college experience. I know I would play early. So that's why I really chose to stay at home at Cal because I thought it would just be probably the best environment for me, being around family, being around friends and stuff like that. But we'll get into that later.
Well, one of the things with Leon is he chose the wrong Arizona college.
Right? I'm a state dude too. I like Arizona State.
If he became a Sun Devil, it would have looked different, right?
Right.
But did he only, you said he only played one position in high school. So when he got recruited, he was strictly a running back.
He was strictly a running back. And he actually played a lot. His true freshman year, he played a ton his true freshman year. He ended up starting a couple of games, and then he ended up blowing his knee out. And then
they had Tron Candidate,
and then
Tron Candidate comes in.
So that's how that goes.
Got it. So you chose to stay home at Cal, and you played as an athlete. You coming in as an athlete, but I remember playing a passing league game against you guys at Cal. You was a DB only, right? Mm-hmm. What made them make the decision to say, hey, we're going to put this guy at DB? I know you like to hit. I know you like to tackle and hit. If that would have something to do with it, or was the running back position pretty deep?
Well, we had some good running back. We had Joseph Etchema and Joe Igber, and Etchema ended up making it to the league, and Igber was just really a good running back. So I was going to redshirt my freshman year, so I was basically just running scout team, offense, kind of playing receiver, playing all the different positions, and then kind of doing a little bit of DB work. So during camp, I did like one practice with the running backs, and then I would do the second 2 a day with the DBs. So that's how I kind of spent my whole camp. My true freshman year was just going back and forth and back in and out of one meeting, in and out of another meeting. And then we had a couple of cornerbacks. LaShawn Ward, he ended up getting hurt.
He was hella fast, bro.
Yeah, super fast. LaShawn was super fast. He went to Muir with Obi, and back when Muir was just a track.
Two-time McCullough now.
Yep. And and then he ended up getting hurt. And then we had another cornerback named Andre Keys from Arizona ended up getting hurt. And then we had another guy named Harold Pearson from Sacramento. 3 dudes got hurt. We know Harold. In a week, bro. I'm talking about hurt, can't play hurt. So I went from like the running back meeting to coming in and going into a cornerback meeting like every single day. And I'm just sitting there like, I have no clue what's going on in here. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just a scout team. Like, I'm not paying attention in practice. I'm just running scout. I'm like looking at the cards and running the plays and then just doing technical work. So I'm not really paying attention to schemes and what's going on because I don't plan on playing at all. Then they pull me in and they're like, hey, you might have to play this week. And I was like, okay.
I guess that's why I'm here.
Okay. Hey, that's a big point because when you get to Cal, if I'm not mistaken, your roommate was Namdi, right?
Right. Namdi's playing safety.
Namdi at safety, and y'all roommates. So like, okay, now we in our room. Like, hey, bro, you get thrown into the mix. We got your back, and they throw you into the mix at corner. How difficult was it, like, not really knowing the full scheme and still have to go out and guard some D1 receivers?
Oh, it was extremely hard. I tell you, cornerback is the hardest position. Anybody who can just come out of the street and flip positions and play cornerback and play it well, that kid is a supreme athlete. I don't care what you say because it's extremely hard to play. I mean, I didn't play corner in high school. I played corner my sophomore year. I played outside linebacker for 2 years in high school. We ran a 4-4, and I was the outside linebacker. I was not a corner in high school. So to go out there and backpedal and turn and run, I just wasn't used to it. And I don't know. I didn't like it. So I played a lot of man, a lot of bump. So Arizona State, my first game, like one guy gets hurt and like Harold HP walks off the field and he's like, Tari, you're in. And first play of the game, they tried to throw a bomb on me.
They recognize, huh? Go get the freshman.
Like, I'm not even joking with you. Throw a bomb on me. And I'm trying to think. Their running back was the running back that went to the Patriots.
That was J.R. Redmond.
J.R. Redmond, bro. He was a killer.
J.R. Redmond.
Killer. J.R. Redmond was a killer out there. So,
I think that team still had what's your boy name that went to the Army and passed away?
Tillman.
Pat Tillman. I think
he had just left.
He just left. Okay.
Just left.
So going after you play that your true freshman year, get thrown to the fire at DB, the next season, did you try to get like, yo, coach, I need to go back to the running back side? Or was it just now you're a DB from here on out?
Well, to be honest with you, I did go to my coach and was like, Coach, I want to play running back. And he was like, no. We don't have enough DBs. Enough good ones, at least, to be honest with you. So we had LaShawn, and LaShawn was working himself out as a DB. We had a guy named Jamil Powell, who was actually turns out to be a really good DB. He went to Sarah. And we had another couple guys, Ray Carmen. I mean, they recruited guys to come in. But, I mean, I felt like I was a competitor. So maybe I wasn't a good corner, but I was going to compete at playing because I wanted to play. I was a football player. So I wanted to play. So, I mean, I did what I had to do. I was a little knucklehead at Cal. I wasn't the best student athlete at Cal when I went there. I was more like the student fun athlete second when I went to Cal. Just kind of had too much fun.
The party scene.
Oh yeah, Cal is it's a liberal arts party school. So
Do you think
Have
that
a lot
has
of
something to
fun.
do with the strict regimen at De La and finally being like, oh my God, a breather?
um yeah, maybe so. I think that De La Salle, you are organized like to a point to where you just know that, and you're still a kid, so you're kind of scared that if you don't do this, I am not going to play at all. And they kind of put that fear into you, which is a good fear. I mean, I want all kids to know if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're not going to play. So I think when you get to college, obviously a lot of kids that get there, especially kids from the inner city, they are getting it on their own.
Yeah.
So they are used to getting it on their own, grinding it out, not being kind of pushed in the right direction and being kind of coddled. I mean, De La Salle, I'll be honest with you, we got really good coaches. They encourage you. They are there for you. They spend all their time with you. A lot of coaches that don't work on campus don't have time to coddle players in OAL. Like, I got a job and my own family to worry about. I'm here to help you on the football field, and then when I go home, I got to take care of business. But
Yeah, I've played with a couple of De La Salle cats and talked to a couple of former De La Salle players, and a lot of them did have trouble I guess going over to the college side because it's not the brotherhood, it's not all about team. Once you get to college, it's kind of like me, trying to get to the NFL, or me. Hey, I was good at my high school too, and there's not as much of the team environment, and then they kind of get burnt out and be like, this is so much different than what I'm used to.
Hey,
oh, I definitely believe that. I think that. Go
go
ahead,
ahead,
man.
go ahead, Tari.
I would say I definitely think that happened to me at Cal. Like, I just wasn't. I was used to everybody looking out for everybody and doing everything for the team. Not so much that I'm not getting enough playing time. Coach don't like me. Coach don't do this. I mean, I wasn't used to that. So, I mean, it definitely rubbed me wrong. And then I kind of fell out of love with football. And it kind of reflected in my play. I mean, I think my last year there, I mean, I still started every game. I still had a lot of tackles, but the love and the commitment to be great all the time just wasn't there.
And one of the things we always talk about is the pressure of De La Salle while they're in high school, but the pressure of De La Salle, whether they go junior college or university, people expecting you to come in and be this ultimate guy. Your team just won 105 games straight, right? So
Right.
now when you come on campus, even though you played as a team, I need to see you individually as the same player that won 175 games, and it just don't fit, right? So the pressure we put on a De La Salle athlete in college is kind of unfair to that athlete because we're expecting them to come know everything, come run all of this stuff. Your high school won a winning streak, and that pressure, we don't know what that pressure is like. You might know what it's like, sorry, but as that athlete, we don't really understand what that pressure is like to the De La Salle athlete when they get to college.
Right. I think that when De La Salle, that pressure is kind of spread out over everyone. Even I think that's how we kind of make it work. Is that pressure of winning and being great? You don't have to carry that burden yourself. You can spread it out over your whole team and let everyone carry it, and then it would work out. I feel like when you get to college, they expect you to be that De La Salle guy to convince everyone to work out, convince everyone to show up on time. You got to show up on time. You got to be better than everyone. And you're like, I'm just trying to figure it out too. Like,
right.
I'm just trying to figure out school. And I mean, I wasn't the greatest student at De La Salle. So going to Cal, the #1 public school, I mean, I don't have time to help you with running. I'm trying to figure out my English class.
Good point.
Absolutely.
It's a good point.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So like after when you were still at De La Salle, were like the former players coming back and talking to y'all, the Amani Tumors, your brother, were they coming in and talking to you guys during these summer and breaks?
Yeah, my Amani Tumor used to come back a lot, to be honest with you. I seen him at a lot of workouts when I was going to De La Salle. And so I always thought that was cool because, to be honest with you, he's tall. And back then I was short and quick. So I'd get on him in some quick drills. And you felt good about yourself. But you're like, dude, I just beat a Mighty Tumor in a 5. Or to be honest with you, some of them can't hang anymore. Like De La Salle workouts are that hard that when dudes come back, they're like, I'm not used to running like a 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old kid anymore. Like, so, Aaron Taylor came back a lot. I have a funny story about Aaron Taylor. He was on the sideline of a game wearing his Notre Dame jacket, and he is just giving it to the other team, like just talking so much trash. And that referee comes up to Coach Ladd and goes, hey, you got to have that dude down there chilling out. He's going crazy on kids. And he's like, who? He's like, the guy with the Notre Dame jacket on. And we all look down and we're like, dude, that's Aaron Taylor.
Who's gonna tell him to stop?
Yeah, we just got picked by the Packers first round.
All right. Talk about Ladd, man, because I've heard a lot of stories about Ladd, and then some of it is folklore, some of it is true. I had a buddy of mine, I have a real close friend that played at De La Salle. He's like, Ladd is God.
I'll tell you, the movie depicts Coach Ladd's attitude is subtle like that. He is kind of a quiet, subtle, talk it out kind of guy. But like it's not like I haven't seen Coach Ladd just dig in to me, to be honest with you. If you were a good player at De La Salle, at some point you were called into the office and just ripped. I guarantee it. I can't think of a player that wasn't called into the office and just told that they aren't as good as they think they are. Like, straight up. Like, I had it done my sophomore year when I was coming up to varsity, and I was kind of a big head. And I was on varsity, and I was playing, and we're doing all these summer workouts, and I'm talking a lot of trash. And he pulls me into the office, and he goes, you will be the first player in De La Salle history to ever play JV their freshman and sophomore year. And if you don't change your attitude. After that, kind of zipped it up. I've heard him yell at DJ and say, because DJ didn't love De La Salle. I don't think anyone necessarily loves De La Salle their first year there, especially if you're a black kid coming from anywhere that isn't like Concord or Alamo or Pleasanton or something like that, because you're going from what you're used to be honest with you, a bunch of rich kids that you've never grown up around with a completely different attitude. So DJ goes in there and goes, I want to transfer to Pinot. And he was like, get the heck out of here. But you can go smoke dope with all your boys. When you play us, we're going to kick your butt.
Straight up.
Pretty much.
So, I'm pretty sure that Kevin Simon got it. MJD probably got it. Everybody's probably had that talk to where, dude, you're not as good as you think you are.
Hey, side note before we get back on track, I just got to know this for a fact. Is it true that DJ Williams wanted to play special teams so bad that he put his mom in pads, ran down full speed, and hit her with all his might? Is that true?
That is true. I've seen that. That was my senior year. So, I don't want to give out too much, but he made a video to prove that he wanted to be on kickoff cover so bad that he just told his mom to catch this ball, ran full speed at her, and then lit her up on the field.
And there's no pad underneath her, no pole vault pad or nothing?
She did not know what she was doing at all. She thought she was making – I don't know what she thought she was doing, but it ended up her getting killed on the field.
That's one of those folklore stories that even though you say it's true, you still think like, nah.
Wow.
That is true.
Hey, Tari, you just named a great list of De La Salle players that you just named. You, yourself, Kevin Simon, MJD, DJ Williams, your brother. What was it like? One, we go talk about our list. We got to get to our top 10 list of running backs. But then again, De La Salle could have made up a top 10 list of running backs in itself, right? Not
Right.
to mention the ones that came after the years that we had picked, right? But ESPN had their own De La Salle top 15 list. Did you ever see that?
I know that. Hey, that list is booty.
Everybody who don't make the list always think your list sucks.
So the De La
Not
Salle top
good,
15
because
list.
that list doesn't account for athletes.
That's
Like
what
that-
Mario Vital
that's
said.
not-
Mario
that's-
Vital said being listed as an athlete hindered his recruitment.
Yeah, man, it kills you because coaches don't know what to do with you. They don't know, like they just get you in the program and go, "We'll figure it out." But it might take to your junior year for them to figure out what's going on with you. Because you playing offense, you playing defense, you ain't specializing in nothing. You learning everything, and like you're just getting confused.
Yeah, jack of all trades, master
So
of none.
would you advise, let's say a young kid I coach and he's an 8th grader going into 9th grade now, right? Would you advise him that by the time his junior year comes to be one position only?
No, I would tell every high school kid to play both ways because that's going to be the last time you ever get to do it. So I would say to have as much fun as possible because, I mean, there's some kids that that won't tackle people, but they got good hands. They're not going to be on defense. And kids that can't catch and that will come up and hit you and that are really athletic. So you put them on defense. But I would tell a kid, if you can play both ways in high school, play as much as you can because it's going to be the last time you get to do that. And it's going to, besides all the other benefits of other muscles and other things you work out, I mean, it's going to be completely fun. You don't want to come off the field in high school. Like I didn't come off the field in high school except for on punt team. I wasn't on punt team. I returned the kicks and I was on kickoff cover. And so, I mean, you want to play as much as possible. So I would always encourage every kid to play as much as possible. Never, ever just pick a position because you might not play that position in 2 years anyway.
So I need you to, outside of the brotherhood, right? Outside of the brotherhood, I need you to rank these 6 De La Salle backs for me, right?
Good.
I know you was an athlete, but for this sake of discussion, you're a running back. I need you to rank these running backs for me. You yourself, DJ Williams, MJD, your brother Leon Callen, Salim Muhammad. Am I missing anybody, Ken? Who the 6th one? Kevin
Terrence
Simon.
Kelly. Or Kevin Simon.
Terrence Kelly. That's who it is, Terrence Kelly. Put a rank into them in order.
So I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know much about TK personally when it comes to – because I was already in Idaho when he was playing a lot for De La Salle. I just know he was a big dude, and he was like a big athletic dude, probably one of the bigger athletic backs that De La Salle's ever had. So if I had to put running backs in order at De La Salle from that list, because I'll tell you another list that you probably want to look at.
Antoine Custer and who was the running back with Custer? Was it Gonzalez?
Oh,
I think, but they both ran.
I think Nate Kenyon was the running back.
Ooh, Nate Kenyon. Yeah, I forgot about him.
All right, so let's stick with the 6.
Okay, so on your list, I would go my brother, MJD, me, DJ, and probably TK then Salim.
TK then Salim.
Because I grew up with Salim my whole life. Salim played West Pittsburgh with me growing up. Salim caught a ride with us to school every day in the morning. So I grew up with him my whole life. But I would put those dudes in order. All of those are completely different running backs. But I think that would be my order. I would put my brother number 1, because I just think my brother was just a hard nose. He just ran hard. He didn't have the greatest vision, but he was probably the fastest out of all those running backs by far. And he just ran really hard, and he was tough. He could take a hit. He could deliver a hit. He'd outrun you. So that's why my brother would be number one. MJD, because he's fast. He could hit. He can catch. He can block. Kind of like me. That's why I probably put myself right after him. I think that I probably had really good vision, and I probably had a lot quicker feet. I was faster than MJD, but he was probably stronger than me. Then DJ was just an animal. I mean, if you can talk about fear factor, then
DJ go number 1,
2, and 3. So, and then Kevin Simon. Oh, you had him on there. Kevin Simon is by far the purest hitter that De La Salle has ever had in the history of that program. No kid will walk on that campus and just walk on the field and just take everyone's head off and not think twice about it.
I don't know. It was somebody at De La Salle knocked somebody's mouthpiece in the air.
The mouthpiece.
Knocked somebody's mouthpiece in the air. Not just like knocked it out.
Remember that, Tari?
In the air.
You remember that, Tari, the hit you got for Sports Focus Hit of the Year?
I remember that. That was my homeboy, Tommy Stallworth. I grew up with him. We played for the Pittsburgh Mallards together.
He'll never invite you over for Thanksgiving dinner.
Did you play for the Saints, Lolo?
I never played youth football. Never.
Oh, you didn't play no youth football?
Never.
Oh, man. Yeah, we played. So he ended up playing for we ended up playing against the Saints and stuff like that because we went to a different league. But, yeah, Tommy Stallworth, he was a good little dude. But, yeah, I remember that hit. I would get kicked out of a game for that now.
Oh, absolutely.
After you knocked his mouthpiece out and he saw it was you that did it, my homeboy did this to me. What did he look at? What did he say to you later on?
He was just like, really? he was like, really, Tari Blood? Or back in Pittsburgh, they say bro a lot. He was like, really, Tari, bro? You gonna hit me like that? I was like, Tommy, all I heard was scream. And as soon as I heard that, I took off running because I knew something was coming over the middle.
I had a cheap shot at you after that. We ain't friends no more. I'm about to get you. I don't care if I get a 15-yarder.
No, right? You got to give him. But, hey, Tommy was a good dude. Tommy got me back eventually. He just get in his own way.
One of the things me and Ken do, right? So one of the things we had to do, we had to go do research on your brother, Leon, right? Because our list was from 96 to 2004. And when we went and did research, we both came to the conclusion that Leon should be on the list. And not just on the list, Leon should be number 1 on the list. So I think he was the only back on there that was a pure back that was all state 2 years.
Oh, yeah. And I think he was state player of the year in his senior year. So my brother was legit, bro. He was.
So we stand corrected. Leon is number 1 on the list, right? But the other backs that was on the list, some that were younger, some that was a couple of years older than you, and then some that was younger than you. Did you get to see all of them guys play? Like Ken and Jackie Crooks, Ken Simonton. Did you get to see them play?
Oh, yeah. So I was the ball boy still when I thought Jackie Crooks was the greatest running back in high school. My brother would come home with film when they were playing. They had to play Logan in the championship, I think his junior year. And Jackie Crooks, I saw Jackie Crooks shake a dude while hopping on one leg twice.
Damn. So I'm happy you here because a lot of our viewers get OAL centric and they think that the only athletes that alive played in the OAL. So anytime we put somebody outside the OAL on our list, they think he trash. And I'm like, man, y'all must never saw Jackie Crooks. So I'm happy you here to give our listeners and our viewers a taste of what Jackie Crooks was like.
Jackie Crooks was the man. Jackie Crooks could shake on a dime. He could run you over. Jackie Crooks could do it all. I like Jackie. I remember my brother was playing. I was like, how y'all going to stop him?
What about Ken Simonton?
Oh, Ken Simonton. Ken Simonton, I'm still trying to figure out how to tackle him. I mean, I don't think I've ever made – I mean, I played Pitt, 4 times when Ken Simonton was there, and I still don't think I've made a tackle on him. He was like – Ken Simonton wasn't like the hardest working out dude in high school. He was kind of chubby and stuff like that in high school, but he was the quickest dude you've ever seen in and out of a cut. He could stop on a dime. He could change directions. He could catch the ball really good out of the backfield. Ken Simonton was great in high school, like just great.
Who was the toughest player you played against? Like, I know you played for De La Salle, but who was the toughest opponent or the player you played against while at De La Salle? Where you was like, yo, this guy right here is the man, even though I'm playing against him.
David Curry.
Who he played for?
So David Curry went to Pittsburgh High with Ken Simonton. And David Curry, if you ask anyone from Pittsburgh about David Curry, they will tell you he's probably the best athlete to come out of Pittsburgh. He was just a knucklehead, bro.
Mm.
David Curry was just a knucklehead, and he just couldn't get out of Pittsburgh.
What position?
David Curry, he played running back, receiver. He ran like a 10-5 in the 100.
Wow.
But he was just a knucklehead. And then, honestly, Pittsburgh had so many good dudes. David Curry actually went to De La Salle his freshman year, got hurt, and then wanted to transfer back to Pittsburgh, ended up going back to Pittsburgh High. But David Curry was probably one of the hardest athletes because he was just so fast. He was strong. He was probably 5'10", 5'9", 5'10", but he was just a lightning bolt, man.
And so we asked our viewers that question on who the toughest person that they played against, and now we got to get De La Salle. I need West Oakland Tari opinion right now. I need West Oakland Tari to give me your opinion. Who was the most overrated person you played against?
Oh, that's a good question. The most overrated person that I've ever played against. Oh. I'm trying to think. To be honest with you, I mean, I don't want to hate, but some of them Pinot Valley teams, like, they had just dudes that, like, I'm trying to think. They had Cotty Davis. I don't know if you remember him.
I don't.
He was a linebacker for Pinot, and then they had this guy named Mandika Saez that was a linebacker for Pinot, and they were like supposed to be the linebacker and safety combination that was supposed to just like shut us down and stop us. And we ended up, I mean, they played us good for about a quarter, and then we ended up blowing them out. And I was just thinking, like, they banking everything on these two dudes, and they can't make no tackles on us. And I don't want to completely hate in that game because I also got knocked out by a punter. So I don't. I'm the king of getting killed by kickers, by the way. I don't want to talk about that.
Hey, if you guys was in Oakland, what high school would you have wanted to go to if you was in the OAL?
Oh, Skyline.
I told you, kid.
Yeah. I said, Lo, we got to ask. And Lo said, everybody goes to Skyline. At that time, it had to be Skyline.
All day. I wanted to go to Skyline. Like, my whole family went to Castlemont. Like, my dad graduated from Castlemont. All my aunties graduated from Castlemont. My cousins all graduated from Castlemont. But I liked Skyline. Like, if I wasn't going to go to De La Salle, I was going to go to Skyline. Those were the two schools that my dad had picked out for me.
Well, I think Dean would have welcomed you with open arms.
Oh, you guys had them picked out.
So it was either that. So it was either Skyline because they were good they had baseball was good back then, football was good back then, and De La Salle because everything was good, or it was going to be Alhambra because my dad wanted me to play nothing but baseball. So my dad really wanted me to play. Like, my dad was obsessed with me playing baseball. Like, he really, really, really wanted me to play baseball really bad. And to be honest with you, I probably should have. But when you go on those recruiting trips, man, and you go to a baseball stadium and you go to a football stadium, the football stadium looks way cooler to play in.
Way cooler. Man,
Probably more popular as a football player than a baseball player too.
Definitely more pop. I mean, you're definitely more popular. I mean,
sorry,
baseball. People that know you in baseball are softball players.
when you played, when you played Babe Ruth, didn't you guys All-Star team win it? Did y'all win it, or y'all won?
No, we are the Gap team. So
y'all the Gap team.
We are the Gap team. So what is that? In 2012 or 1992, they won it. 93, we lost to Fremont in the state tournament. 94, they win it again.
Oh,
so we are the Gap team that didn't win. That hurts.
Y'all had a really good team too, man. I remember that. I remember that team that was after us, with Hoots and Rob Johnson. That team, y'all had a dope team. Man.
Yeah, mama. Hey. I'm gonna tell you something funny. Let me tell you something funny about Kitty though. So, I think we were 14. It's my first game back after high school, and we playing Kenny and them team, and he pitching against us, and I go yard on him. So,
Kid looking like that didn't happen.
I never pitched.
No, who'd you play for? You played for?
I played for Spray Mart, Pizza Hut.
Ken, you a year younger.
But I'm trying to figure it out because I remember playing Stars against Tari when he made that diving catch in center at Greenman.
Oh, but against Twin. I'll never forget that. I broke my thumb on that pitch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm trying to figure it out.
No, I'm talking about like when we were 14. 14, 15.
Oh, well, 14, 15s I played. See, I had kind of transitioned out of baseball. I was guard. Once they got on a big mound, started throwing curveballs, let me just play football.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I tell kids out here in sports, because we play in a travel league against some Utah kids that are pretty good. I tell competitively charged league, at least when we were growing up, because you got to imagine back then, man, we had like 20 teams.
26.
Yeah.
We had 5 divisions.
Yep.
And well, you got national 1, national 2, American, continental.
But see, back then you could get cut.
Yeah, well, you had a billion kids.
You get cut. And then all the people that got cut go play for Gallagher and Burke. Sanders Stacks. Then you can hit on your left against them. Your coach say you can hit on your left.
Yeah, right. Real.
Yeah,
so,
it was big back then.
Charged scene. So if you can get out of Oakland Babe Ruth with confidence and good spirits, boy, you should go anywhere and launch yourself, because back then, boy, you were playing for everybody.
But see, this is where I say it helped and it hurt. Because when I think about myself, I was kind of like middle of the pack. Like I made some all-star teams, but I didn't make every all-star team. So it's just if I had a good season or not. But I think middle of the pack in Oakland at that time is hella good somewhere else, but you don't know you hella good because so you think you middle of the pack, where if you go somewhere else, I could have been a star maybe. But against, you talk about Lolo, who runs a 4-1, Atari Callen, it's just like, bro, where do I fit in? But I'm still good though, just not on y'all level.
Just the amount of, you got to think about teams when you're talking about like Duvernay got Mikey and Abdul on them. And then I'm batting 9th for our PAL team. Right. When we got Lolo, we got so many Sam, all them kids, Travis,
Casey,
all them
Travell.
Yeah, and I'm batting 9th because we got all these 15-year-olds that's balling.
Yeah.
Definitely. But that goes to show, man, what we came up under and what it took to us to make it when we got older. Like when we got to high school, we all, like, if you was good in Oakland Babe Ruth or you was good in football, when you got to high school, it was like, man, I done played against the toughest competitions already.
There is.
I can pretty much handle what you about to throw at me, man.
Right.
So that was pretty much. So Tari, one of the good things I want you to do, man, before you leave, I get a lot of kids that want to go to De La Salle, right? Give them some advice on what it takes to not only go into De La Salle, and then be what's what I'm looking for? Then be successful at De La Salle coming from the inner city?
I would tell a kid that wants to go to De La Salle you got to open your mind. One, De La Salle is not going to be like anything you've ever been a part of in your life. That's all-star teams and all that stuff. De La Salle, these kids, especially, the kids that are going to De La Salle, let's say the non-sport kids, right? Those kids are going to De La Salle. They've been trained their whole lives that I got to work hard. If I work hard, I will achieve. Don't settle for being second best. Work hard, work hard, work hard. And that kind of flows throughout the school and the teaching, how they teach, volleyball, all the way down to water polo, all the way up to football. So, if you're a kid that wants to go to De La Salle because he wants to be a good football player and that's it, you are going to hate it there. Because De La Salle is so much more than just being a good football player. That's a byproduct of all the training and reinforcing that they do there and becoming a better man of faith. If you want to become a better man, if you want to become a better kid, if you want to be involved in things and learn how to be involved in the community and be a better person, then I would tell you De La Salle will be a great school for you because you'll also become a better athlete and you'll get the best training and you'll get the best equipment and what have you there and the best opportunity to, launch yourself to a college. But if you want to go De La Salle just to play sports, it's not going to be fun for you. You're not going to like it. It's going to be a drag and you're not going to learn much there. But if you want to come there with an open mind about being a good person, being selfless, learning some responsibility, and, broadening your horizon, you'll love it at De La Salle. But if you don't do that, we've had plenty of kids that leave there because they just want to play football. De La Salle is more than football.
Man, just imagine where DJ Williams would have been if he left and went to Pinole.
Right.
Or Allen, wherever you say he was going. Just think if DJ Williams leaves De La Salle, where would his life would have looked like after that?
Right.
So
yeah, definitely not the same. But I will say it would have been DJ, Marcus Maxwell. They had a running back in that class too. It ain't daylight, but they would have wrecked shop. They had the corner with the African name. I can't remember, but they had him too.
Hey,
Pinole would have been scary.
One of the tricky things about De La Salle is we say De La Salle run the same system, but then when you look back, you look at Cameron Colvin, a receiver going to Oregon, Demetrius Williams, right? And then I was seeing a game where Matt Gutierrez threw for 6 touchdowns against Mater Dei.
Mm-hmm. There was a 4-year period there where De La Salle was a 4 wide receiver pass when Matt Gutierrez was there, or not Matt Gutierrez, but Gutierrez. When Gutierrez was going there, De La Salle was a 4 wide receiver throwing team. When Johnny Tucker and all those kids were there, like they didn't have they had one good running back in their program at that time, Kevin Simon, but they had a bunch of athletes. Nate was there. Johnny was there.
Is that Damon Jenkins? Was he around that time?
Yep. And then they had a bunch of other little DBs, and one went to Fresno State. They had a bunch of little athletes. So they just spread it out, and they had a quarterback who was 6'4", who could throw with a rocket, who wasn't very fast. And they slung it around for 3 years. And then when it was over, they went right back.
Absolutely, man. Tari, man, we got to get ready to wrap it up. I appreciate you for coming on, man. Make sure Leon see this, man, and make sure Leon know that he's vaulted to number 1 on our rankings list because we slighted Leon in our top 10 list. Make sure he know he's number 1, man, and we appreciate you for coming on and telling us the story about the time at De La Salle and Cal. Appreciate it, man, for coming on and talking to us.
Oh, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I'll tell you one thing. If you ever want to look at it, Patrick Walsh, the head coach from Sarah High School, he probably has the greatest highlight tape you've ever seen of a De La Salle running back, if you look it up on YouTube.
I'm familiar with Pat.
Patrick Walsh. I'm telling you.
He started the streak, right?
Yeah, his team started the streak. 5'0", very slow. Dude, the heart of a champion, bro.
Was he coaching there when Sarah almost beat De La Salle? Because they almost beat him.
Yeah, he was the coach there.
He was the coach.
He was the best coach. He probably made me the best running back I've ever had because he focused on me being more than just a runner. He made me a better blocker, a better catcher, receiver of the pass. So, yeah, Patrick Walsh, man, I'm telling you, don't sleep on him. He's great.
Not top 10, though.
Hey, in my list, Patrick Walsh is my favorite running back at De La Salle.
Oh, time out.
You want to put everybody's list together?
No.
He physically is not the best person.
We want your top 10 list as you sign off. Right now, give us your top 10 De La Salle list as you sign off.
Patrick Walsh, Leon Callen, Maurice Jones-Drews, Atari Callen, DJ Williams. Top 5 right there, buddy.
Top 5.
There it is.
Top 5. Got it, man. So appreciate you coming on, Tari, man. We gonna holler at you later.
Yes, sir. I'll see y'all, boys.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good one.
Ken, I'm gonna have to go get on YouTube and check out some Patrick Walsh highlights, man.
Yeah, I heard a dude, and I know a lot about him, but I never checked out his highlight tape, so I'm gonna go check that out too.
You know what it's like to have your highlight tape on YouTube now? If you played in '92, like you got everything on VHS, right? So that's probably
it's probably grainy and
old school.
Probably got to circle him in so people know.
Yeah, gotta figure it out, man. Great episode with Atari Callen, man. I hope this episode reaches some parents because a lot of people do go into De La Salle thinking I'm gonna go to De La Salle and to get exposure and go D1.
Yeah.
Where he's saying, if this is what you're coming from, you're not gonna like it.
No.
It's gonna be a tough thing for you, right? But can you imagine if Tari and Leon didn't ever go to De La Salle and went to Pittsburgh High? Pittsburgh High would have been crazy. Yeah. It was already crazy.
Or imagine Tari goes to Skyline.
Skyline. Ooh, that's scary too.
Because who was the back around that? Because he said what, 96, 97?
99 back was Humphrey and them. 99, his year 98 was Humphrey and them. And
D. Whiteside and all
Derek Whiteside. Derek Whiteside name came up on that list.
D. Whiteside was raw, but top 10 is a whole different level. But D. Whiteside was raw, and he like patented the spin move. But
here go my thing. Would D. Whiteside be D. Whiteside if Atari Callen makes it to Skyline?
Now I think, looking back at it, hindsight is easy to say, but then it's like, does Atari become Atari without all the tire pulls, without the 3 400s, 3 100s, 3, like if he just is a beam, does he turn out to be that good? So,
you know what? But Beam had a work regimen, and it was more so about who was able to follow his program, like Art said. Remember, Art said if you wasn't able to follow Beam's program, then you was going to kind of get weeded out in a way, right? Which what we could tell is Tari and with his father was, a buy into a program kind of guy. Like me, I'm not going to lie. I would have got to De La Salle and we ran all them lines and we still got to go to the track. Hey, check this out, man. I'm going
and it's 97 degrees outside.
I'm going back to Tech. Y'all can have y'all streak. I'm gone.
Yeah, yeah. And I was that kind of kid too.
Didn't have the discipline to say I'm about to do all of this. I don't care if 30 dudes is doing it. I'm gonna be the one that say I'm cool. I'm not doing this shit, right?
And I know it's a fact about me that I would have left because when I first got to Head Royce in the 9th grade, one of the requirements to play varsity basketball was you had to run 10 suicides in 30 seconds each. I was like, bro, this is impossible. I walked off. So I know if I didn't want to do that, it wasn't no way in hell I'm going through a daylight workout at 14. Ain't never really worked out in my life. And you, come on, man, I would have threw up all kind of.
Absolutely, man. So, man, great episode, Ken, man. Way to wrap up a good Saturday day, man. A good interview with Atari, man. Break forward to hear it and letting the people hear his story.
Absolutely, man. Well, thank everybody for listening. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. We want to thank Atari Callen for taking time out and joining us on the podcast, sharing his story. You can check us out on anchor.fm/the Rec Center podcast. Also on YouTube. Check out the YouTube and see all of our facial expressions and all of our laughter. Join in with us on that at the Rec Center podcast. We'll catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.